Hello, this is John Baker with another NX Quick Tip video. Today we're going to talk about another enhancement that was added in NX 11 for the Sketcher. To give you an example here, what I have is a part that I've already previously modeled using a couple of sketches. And what I want to do now is I want to change all the parameters used to define this internal opening here. I want to change them. I want to make them 5% larger. Now, I can't scale the entire model because I don't want the entire model to be 5% larger, only the parameters that control this interior shape. And since it was a sketch, I can actually go in and edit the sketch. So let's go in to the sketch, and there's my sketch that I created. Now, I could go in and just simply figure out what 5% more of each one of these parameters are. Now, I've only got 4, so it wouldn't take me that long to do that. But let's say you had 20 or 30 different parameters. That could be quite time consuming to have to compute what a 5% difference would be in each one of these. Well, in NX 11 we've added a new feature in the Sketcher, and it's called, and we've had the ability to create what we call sketch groups, but what we've done is we now added what we call a scalable group. But before I do that, I'm going to add one additional piece of geometry. What I need is a line, and I'm going to make this line 100 millimeters long. It's really only going to be used just as a reference. So now I have this line that's 100 millimeters long. That's fine. Now let's go into create the Sketcher group. And as I said, we've had sketch groups for a while, but we've added a new one called a scalable group. So now I just simply come in here and I select all the geometry of my original sketch plus that line, and I say OK. And so now I have a scalable group. Now this group is scalable by controlling the shape of any parameter in the group. So I could take this line and drag it out and it would become, larger. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a dimension on it, because then I can control it exactly. So there it's 100 millimeters long, and I want it to be 5% larger. So that means this line needs to be 105 millimeters in order to make it 5% larger. So I'm going to accept that, and you notice my sketch updated. Now, you say, well, yeah, fine, the part's 100, it's 5 millimeters, 5% larger, but I've lost all the dimensions in my sketch. Well, that's not quite true, because I can now go in and select the scalable group constraint and delete it. And when I do, all the dimensions come back that were used to create it. Now I'm going to delete this line because that's really not part of my sketch, but you now notice that each one of these parameters have been updated and they're 5% larger than what they were before. So I can use this scalable group feature to actually help modify existing sketches when I need to do it using sort of a scale. A scale factor is what I was working, is what the goal was. Of course, you could also use these scalable groups just for controlling simple objects as part of a sketch. In other words, actually leave them grouped as a scalable group, and then you could just modify it any time that you wish. But in this case, I was actually using it as a part of a workflow to come in and edit this model. So now when I update, and so now I'm back to my model, only this interior profile is 5% larger than what it was based on changing the parameters of the profile. So again, this is something that would be much more efficient and can be very useful in editing cases like this. Thank you very much.